Okay, every time. So, welcome to LIBERcast episode 64. And I'm happy to have Stephen with me today. It was a long in the making, and I wanted to bring another aspect of the great work and maybe give people explanation to the new people who are not familiar with the information with what it is to be a great worker. So we're part of I forgot to bring up the page, but I'm part of the one great work network.com, and I encourage people to go there. There's plenty of stuff to explore in the realm of the occult and spirituality. And I encourage people to go there. And I'm part of the network. You can see my stuff, some of my stuff there. And it's a there's other Quebecers, by the way, Dom Tremblay and I cannot remember a name. And go see Darian Greens and Will Keller and all these great workers that give their time to. They're so knowledgeable and their wisdom is incredible. I mean, I learn every day from these great workers, and I encourage you to go explore them if have interest in the occult and spirituality. So I'm bringing Stephen. Welcome,
Hi,
brother.
hello, you. How are you?
I'm doing great. So I wanted to dive right into it. And before we're doing that, can you give your information if people want to see your work, where they can
Sure,
get your work first?
sure. My work you can find on website stephenmagier.com. You also can find me on the YouTube channel Center Study of Truth and Stephen Magier. You can write it on the search engine, and also in Facebook and odysee in other platforms. Um, that's it. You can find me easily, and my in my website I have all the information and all my archive in English and Hebrew language, um, and also resources like books and stuff.
Awesome. So I have I'm gonna ask you a question about yourself because uh,
Yeah, sure.
even for me, I don't know you perfectly. You know, we went like into contact because
Yes.
of the LiberCast, and I've seen your
Mhm.
work and I've looked at it. And but I want to, if you want to, explain where you're coming from and how you became a great worker.
Mm. For me was me all the time was connected with nature. I love animals, I love plants, I love trees. But unfortunately, I cross many indoctrination in my early life. Um, I was a order follower because, as I tell you before the interview, that they put us by force to be order followers and to be recruited in the armies. And in that time, I started waking up to my spirituality. But I was not active. I just waking up spiritually, but I was some in new age mindset. But after the pandemic kicks in, I start to be more and more active and understand what I need to do because I thought before awakened person is aware person, aware from the problems we have around the world, aware from the agendas, the dark priest class that rule all of us. But it's not true. The a real awakened person, human being, need to be active and he need to know what he need to do. No one need to tell him what to do. He need to know by himself because you need to. do your inner work to find your guidance within you. Because when you find your guidance of your soul, then know what you need to do. Because if have injustice in the world, if have so much terrible times, we supposed to do something. Is required something. Okay, so after the pandemic, this start to wake me up something inside me to tell me what I supposed to do here. And this part was missing to me before. And I understand I complete all the, the missing links, the puzzles together, and I start to see the picture in a wider way and to understand what is really is going on here, because you also you not really understand what is going on if you're not active in this world, if you not do nothing, if you not educate others, you not make content. Because people need to understand creating a content is a kind of magic. You spelling, you casting words,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know to what ears and what eyes will arrive and what souls and what brain and hearts with the right in the other side. And I um, I also experiment many kind of content videos, writings, many stuff. I explore in myself what I can do my own way, because we all of us is unique in its own way. We have different signatures that can create something that never was created before, and no one can create like you create by yourself. And we need a lot of variants uh, spreaded around us,
Mm-hmm.
make a big change. And this what I understand in my life, when I start to be active as a great worker, as you say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a very personal, intimate relation with knowledge and nature, and this is a very important part that we need to keep repeating, that the source is nature and nature is spirit.
Hmm.
So this is a coming back to your nature, to what you are spiritually. For me, it's it's spiritual sovereignty.
Hmm.
It's independence from the external world and the imposition from society and indoctrination and all these things that makes our life miserable, because we are struggling to coming back to ourselves. And
Hmm.
this is what the occult is doing. It's bringing you back inside, instead of starting to not starting, but looking outward for solutions. It's a very, very intimate personal relation with nature. I just wanted to say that.
Yes, you just, when you focus on yourself, you not look and blame others, and you not put yourself as a victim, and you understand the nature itself is the authority, and the authority of human not exist in nature. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and only authority is the nature itself, the authority of the creator and the architect of the universe, the moral natural authority that is natural law. And this, unfortunately, the false freedom community is not understand today.
Mm-hmm.
And because they not do the inner work, they not deal with their inner traumas, inner um, emotions, denied, suppressed, oppressed emotions. That,
Yes.
in my opinion, is the most important thing that we need to focus on, because the emotions is reflected on our bodies, is reflected on our even the diseases, on all
Mm-hmm.
illnesses, and things that we hold within that we should not hold within, this cause illness.
Yes.
And I also not say to fight against that emotions. I say to float them, to make a relationship with these
Hmm.
emotions, and bring the unconscious to the conscience. And when you when you go to the root of the problem, and you after you can see much easily the picture, the images. Example, after you do the shadow work, you deal with your emotions, you deal with your traumas, you clean up your unconscious mind, then you can put your intention, the clear intention that is clean from the unconscious uh, emotions and traumas that hold you back, and it's more easy to you to put your intention on, because the inner shadow work for me also is willpower, exercising willpower, because
Hmm.
without the willpower, what the point? We cannot do nothing. This is the life force. This is what we need, building the willpower. And in my work, what I do with myself, I do my shadow work, I work on my emotions, and I have my inner dialogue with my thoughts. Okay. By the way, I also very recommended to people to have a journal, to write everything in a journal, your thoughts, your emotions, your expressions, anything, dreams, anything, to put it on paper, because writing is something like you materialize your thoughts, you bring it to the materialization. Okay. And it's more easy to you inspect yourself and observe yourself, to go back to see how you think before and how you think now,
Hmm.
to analyze yourself, to take it seriously. It's not one time and finish. It need to be repetition. It need
Yes.
to be lifestyle, you know.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
after I deal with this dark side of me, or all this shadow side in me, I can put my willpower. This is the exercise of willpower, the magical works, the works of magic. And also, I have very strong passion about magic and developing the willpower, because it's like a gym. You go to the gym and you develop the muscle of that, and have many ways to do it. Um,
I just want to bring up something,
yeah.
Stephen, and you talk about willpower, but essentially willpower is drive by your care. How much
Yeah.
do you care? This
Exactly.
is the basic, the force
Yes.
that drives that change, that path that you're taking. That is the shadow work. Shadow work is, we're calling that because it's looking into the darkest corners of your mind and your psyche.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's not beautiful, and we have still to go on and push and go through it. It's not easy. It's not a easy thing, but the satisfaction of liberating yourself and the advantage that you get from shadow work, they're stunning. Actually, I'm doing it from a long time. It's gonna happen all my life. Every day I'm gonna have to do the shadow work, but I'm getting better and I'm getting smarter because of that. I'm getting stoic. The stoic part that I was talking with you earlier,
Yeah.
the stoic part is coming from shadow work for me. It's really tiring. Mind, in the context of the mind. Yeah, I mean, just like me, that sometimes you unlock something and that shit is fucking like smashing you, like because it's fucking, it hurts.
Yes,
You relive these feelings, these emotions, the pain, everything. And
yes,
it can be, it can be very hard on your body and in your, on your mind, and it's a risk to take for the betterment of yourself and the betterment, and at the same time the betterment of your environment, because
hmm
you're gonna influence the quality of your environment, the relation you have with others.
yes. I'm agree with you 100%. Is when you say the will and care, the will with capital W. This is the
Mm-hmm.
real will, and this will is need to be with care. Without care is the selfish will, is the will of yourself, selfish desires only.
Yes.
And what I try to develop, and I teach others what I from my techniques I have, that you can develop the willpower, the real willpower, if with capital W, that you can get your guidance, inner guidance, to know what you need to do in this world, to fix this world, to fix this fucking situation we see around us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very frustrated, very, very much frustrated, because we see how the society is broken up from within. Because
Yes.
because uh, we see it, the reflection as within, so without. We see the division. We see the even in the family dynamics. We see that it
Mm-hmm.
starts from the family dynamics. Uh, People not they relate to each other, but they not have the moral principles that they even discuss even one time in their lives. And and about the masculine and feminine energies, that the man and female, the man and woman connection and relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and and communication, what men need to do, what men need to be, and what women need to be by nature. Because we men and women by nature, okay, we grounded by men and grounded by women, we anchored. And we need to know, we need to live our nature, what thing we're supposed to live. And what they do, they overt everything. Men start to be woman, and women start to be men.
Yes.
And the most easy to control like this, the society, is separation between the genders. Because the no eve will be the masculine awakening and feminine awakening. What woman, strong men and strong woman in the home, in their own house, and they can protect their children from the tyranny, from
Yes.
slavery. And this what they leave from the next generations, and this is very painful. They put all the pain, all the suffering, all the traumas they hold within, and just transfer and transfer to the next generations and next generations. There's generational mind control and slavery. They just put it in generation to the next generation.
Yes.
And
Intergenerational mind control.
yes, and this is so important. This emotional intelligence, as I call it,
Mm-hmm.
because this need to have you need to manage your emotions, you need to manage your thoughts. You are the government of yourself. This is the only government you have, yourself. You govern yourself, you govern your mind. This is the this is the definition of government, right? So the only government is yourself, your temple within.
Yes.
And
Internal monarchy, like
yeah,
Marpasio says, being sovereign as a
yes,
human.
also to develop your intuition, to work on your intuition, to work on your emotions,
I mean,
to
I mean,
control.
emotional emotional intelligence is the basic of morality and the great work as such. I mean, you cannot start the great work without healing these two parts. It's impossible. Impossible. And the only way you do it is by shadow work
Mm-hmm.
and introspection or inner work. People will call it a lot of different names, but essentially it's the healing between the feminine and the masculine. And it's very fresh because I covered it in the French side not so long ago. So I mean this is so important to reconciliate these qualities that you have inside of you when we talk about the principle of gender of it's inside you, in your psyche, and it's in nature.
Yes, exactly.
There's no
Exactly.
separation between the relation is it's an osmosis that we have. Nature, it's perfect in this imperfection, and humans are the same. We
Yes.
are lacking if you don't have the knowledge to grow up and mature and reconciliate these darker parts, these traumas that you have. You cannot achieve intuition, true intuition, because
Mm-hmm.
intuition is born from the mother and the father, and it gives the action the children, and it's the children is the third eye. This is what people are keep saying, the pineal gland, whatever, from whatever uh, 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 rhetorics you come from, it's basically all the same. This is true consciousness. This is where you became you start your connection with nature, with your own nature, with nature as I mean nature is everywhere, you know.
Yes. And yes, what I'm agree with you. That's we have the inner masculine and feminine.
Yes,
Okay, we all have masculine and feminine. Even we drink, we eat, we read, we learn. This is feminine. We put something within, we acceptable. But our body is grounded as a masculine or feminine, is anchored by masculine feminine body. We possess a body of masculine and feminine, and we need to learn and grow in this body. We need to know the real things, but that we can live by nature with our body, because the relationship between men and women in the ground level is very important, because men is need to be more judgmental and brave, because I know a lot of people have problem with the word judgmental,
yes. Eh, oh my
because
god, yes,
yes, because
yes,
what kind of man you are if you don't know who is the bad guy? How you can you just slap yourself? How you can say something like that if you cannot be judged? And if something, if you judge, so they consider you someone bad. Everything is the opposite today, you know. And also the woman need to be born inspiration for men and vulnerable, and
yes,
to express herself safely in the space of the masculine energy together.
yes.
And if we build this ground level and we express that, so we can achieve freedom, real freedom.
Hmm.
But you cannot do it if you not do the inner work with yourself first. You need to know,
I mean,
you need to do the inner work with yourself, and
mhm.
do the external work with your body and the body of others, and to communicate with others regarding to the gender. That's
There's
what
a
I mean.
tendency, and I want to say it because it's so true and it's so important. Is that we are the product of our culture. Okay, culture is a lie. Culture is a prison for the mind of the people. And the cultural indoctrination is the big elephant in the room that everybody's ignoring. And it's very, very, very insidious and toxic
Hmm.
because some people will say men are leader. I say both are leaders. I'm not giving more quality or more importance on quality example for women.
Of course.
Women in
Yes.
the history were leaders. Okay, so this is all a agenda of ignorance and short-mindedness. We men, what difference women and men is that men are action. Men are the defenders, the builders
Hmm.
in the material aspect. We are leaders, sure, we are leaders, but we're not the best leaders because most men cannot don't have this balance between their emotion and their thoughts. Most men, I
Hmm.
would say, because they're stuck in their culture, stuck in the indoctrination and what they believe what a man is. A man does not fucking always go to the gym and build muscle up. Men are building their intelligence first. You have to grow up. And
Hmm.
after that, when you're smart enough and you know where your the principle are, you can go to action. It's the same thing for women. Women are nurturing, caring individuals generally. Okay, I'm not saying every woman have this nurturing, caring aspect to them. Okay, it's like it's obvious. But
Hmm.
what I mean is that women can lead by the heart. And this is why this is so important to have a leadership. If you want a leader, like in a family, that you have the father and the mother joining together. And
The father and the mother is like heart and the brain of the family, the
yes,
mind of the heart.
exactly. It's
Yes.
this trinity is keep coming up because the three is one of the key, Freemasonry, and when you go into the occult, the three is very strong, and the triangle is the hardest, the most solid of the geometric form. Okay,
Yes.
it's not a coincidence. So this is we what we're assisting is an inversion of the principle of gender. They're mixing things together. They're confusing the people, and there's obfuscation there. Okay, they're bullshitting people, and they're telling you, "Oh, as a woman in society, you must act this way." Bullshit. We need to get back to nature, to our nature, and it's not gonna be a simple task because people are living in a dream, living into Alice in Wonderland scenario where everything is puffy and
Yes.
coloring, and when you get back to reality, this is where it slaps, because the reality is not a lot. It's not like that because people are not they're not built up in when they're growing up. They're built down. They're keeping you down. This is a submission stance in society. You must submit. They're telling during years they were telling women to stand down to men. It's fucking garbage. Okay, women are leaders. Women are I don't want to white knight. This is not my thing, but these are my information, my experience, because I have a family, and women have divine powers. This is how
Yes.
magnificent and beautiful women are. They're incredible, but there's a dark side to it.
Hmm.
Okay, there's always a flip side of the coin there.
Yes. When you invert the genders, it became problem, you know.
Yes.
And about the genders, um, that I want to speak more about have things like in my in terms in my to my ancestral tradition called Sider and Galder. These magical operations that holding by women and men of the tribe that is explained the magic work of the man and the woman. The Sider is the woman magic operation is more imaginative, is became, you know, in the imagination, and became in dreaming state. And the Galder is the masculine, is the wizard, is who tell the words, casting the spells. You know what ritual to do, what direction to take, and the feminine need to stay in the circle, um, to feel safe and express herself, because woman can inspire men. She have a lot of power to inspire men. As you say, the feminine have magical powers. They can inspire all nations. They can, from their beauty, even from their femininity, from their powerful heart intelligence.
Yes.
And
Essentially, it's balance. It's everything is about balance. You know.
yes, yes, and as much as we do the inner work, the balance will express itself in the outer world. And our emotions and our unconscious collective toxic emotional disorder is what cause all the problems, and is all this because people not deal with their suppressed, oppressed, and denied emotions and feelings and traumas they holding back, and beliefs they hold back. Also, you tell yourself lies many times that you not know enough, you not good enough. And I crossed this in my life before. I say I cannot do it, I'm not good enough, I not know to use this and not to use that. Before I not know to use even any technology, I say it's not for me, I don't like it. But what I need to work with myself to gain more power to do it, to more willpower, because I care enough. If you care enough, you have the willpower to do the right thing.
Yes. And because essentially, what is happening is that if the couple, the family, is weakened, the the network of society, the tissues of society, not the tissues, but the link between the people is getting weaker. And when it happens, the authority is becomes stronger, because most people will try in their lives to find a compensation for the lack of one of or the other. So you have the father figure and the mother figure that can be reflected into society, into politics, into corporations and medias and things like that. They're gonna give you a substitution of the the uh the the male, the masculine part and
Hmm.
the feminine part, and you can see it in every aspect. It's not new, you know. Like here in Canada, we have like two parties because all the others are garbage, but they're still garbage. I'm not like bringing politics up. I've never voted in my life. Okay, so I politics for me, it's like it's like immoral, and it's an act of violence. So but they're principally they're feminine and masculine in their influence come from the qualities of masculine and feminine. Like you're gonna have the politics, the politics that are military, their logic and their protective, and then you have the other party that's more caring between quotes there, okay, caring, and they're gonna promise a lot of things to make you comfortable, you know.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's nourishing the schism of,
Mommy and daddy government.
yes, it's
But
nourishing
yes,
the schism of this psychopathology, you know.
this kind of mommy and daddy government that also politics. If you see, politics is police, like police. They just polarize us. They just this is what they do. They polarize people and divide and conquer. And this is the most easy way to do it. And they not, if you know the knowledge of the occult, you know how everything is working easily. If you really understand the world of the occult, and this what also I present in my channel many times, and many effort from me is go to the explaining the world of the occult, because people not understand what it really means, and they just ignore that. They
Yes,
just ignore that, and they have missing knowledge, missing important knowledge, and they can easily controlled by this and beaten by this, by someone else who know that. And I explain this to people because I have a lot of lack of understanding in the freedom community, especially. Hmm?
hear me.
It's frozen little.
Yeah, there's connection problem there. We're gonna keep on. God damn it. So can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so your screen is stuck there. I think we're still live. So we're gonna push on. So I'm gonna take you out and give getting you back in. Your the image is stuck. Maybe it's me that's stuck. Okay. So this is the basic fundamental understanding of the relationship between humans and nature. And what is important, I think, to bring up is the schism, and why it's so important to bring natural law to balance this phenomena of and this schism, because it's so bad in society now. People, have you seen this movie, this documentary, Stephen, What is a Woman? Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my god, I'm telling you, brother, I
Yes.
was stunned by the complete craziness, madness that these people are living in. You know, when you cannot tell me what a woman is you're confused as hell. You know,
Mhm.
this. I'm gonna tell it just like that. This is a mental illness. Okay, when you don't know what a woman is or a man is, it's the fucking mental illness. This is what it is. Okay, because you're crazy and you believe anything that people tell you. I
Yes.
Can you uh maybe if you can go out and come back so we can get your live feed, because I'm having this static image. I'm gonna keep people entertained at this time. So can you just reload the page?
Reload the page. Okay.
Yes. So I feel today I had indignation, anger today, and I cannot I cannot fathom the state of this. this madness that we call civilization. We are in the biblical uh, it's so bad that I was like, when I was a Satanist, I thought, oh, Bible, it's garbage, it's a myth. But essentially, it's because it's happened before. It's just been thrown into a book, you know. And this book, actually, when you think about it, it's warning us of what can happen when confusion and wickedness invade a society and civilization, because it's simply that. It's psychopathic. These mongoloids, these retarded people that are dominating the world, that are in the governments, you know these I don't like to use this word, but these people are emotionally retarded. They're spiritually dead. When you're pushing this kind of agenda and you're partaking in it, it is the same thing for the people who are helping it, you're damaged. You're fucking mental. This is what you are if you support that. You support slavery. It's disgusting. If you're contributing to this divide between men and women, between this part of your brain, you're mental. You're fucking mental, and you're bringing everyone in your madness with you. It's ridiculous. This is what it is, and this is what we have to deal with. This schism that we are bringing up. It's the base of what the crumbling of our society. It's the destruction of the family unit and the
That's
tissues of society. It's scary because it's so efficient when you have people that are fucking ignorance. They're so ignorant that they're dangerous for themselves and the people around them.
exactly. Yes.
This is how fucking this is how important and crucial that the great work must be pushed, not offered, pushed, because we're not gonna I'm never gonna quit. Never. Even if it's desperating and I look around and I get depressed because of it, I'm gonna still push,
Same
because
here.
this is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. And I
That's right.
want the people to hear my magic.
That's right.
This is magic. What we're doing right now, what Steven is doing, what Mark Passio is doing, is influencing good into people. You don't have to believe it. Don't believe it. Go see yourself. Go deep, dig deep into the occult. Sure, there's occultists that they're using them for wicked deeds and slavery and mind control. But there's occultists like Stephen, like me, like all these beautiful people who are compromising their life, sacrificing part of their life to bring the word of truth, to bring natural law, to bring a balance, a semblance of balance between the relationship, not only with women and women, but men to men and women to women and women men to children. Because this is essentially, this is the base there. This is the foundation of a healthy society. Whether you like it or not, you're a social being. It's never gonna change. We're like that. We are growing better together. It's easier if you have people around you who care about you, care about your work, care about your deeds. You're gonna do good things if people care, because they're gonna show you how to care. Where
That's
I mean, I don't want to take all the time, but it's so important
yeah.
to
That's right. What you
pound
say,
this,
one,
you know?
I'm agree 100%, and I'm do the same. I know how much is frustrated, man. I
Yeah.
know how much is exhausted. Sometimes I feel so much exhausted that even I need to rest with myself. I cannot continue more, to arrive to that point, because I know how much is important now to do it.
Yes.
This is a war, man. This is a war. We in the war. We need to fight. The fight is the voice. We need more voices. We need more power. We need more content. Many various of content. No one will accept from only from Fred or from me or from Mark Passio or from someone else. We need a lot of voices. We need a lot of people with many variants. And take example how
Languages.
much. Yeah, huh?
Languages too.
Yes, exactly. By the way, the languages, why they create so much languages? Because it's creating confusion. We cannot communicate
Exactly.
properly with each other. Before it was one root language, and not go deeper within it is very interesting subject to speak about, but it's not for that. Is one all whole video, but this because of that is create a lot of confusion, because of that I say it's very important to spread the message of natural law and the morality
Yes.
around the world with variant of languages as well, because I see a lot of content in English, and I very appreciate to that people I learn from them in English, and because of that people I grow in that position I today. Without these people I don't know what I was, an ignorant motherfucker now, I don't know. But now I grow myself because of these people. They their voice impact me to make my own research, to make my own work, because I was so obsessed to know. I'm so obsessed even today to know. Anytime, no have the point, know enough. No have this point. You need to learn and to grow every day. Something new, to arrive to new understandings every day, and to learn something new. And the most dangerous belief in the world is I know enough. And when you don't
Yeah.
know enough, it's create more problems and
Yeah. That
missing points.
that and you cannot know anything. Oh my god.
Yes,
It fucking frustrates me, man. It's
yes,
fucking raging when I hear that. Oh my god.
yeah. Imagine
Craziness.
yourself. Yes,
Folly. This is what it is.
it's completely madness that is normally today accepted.
Oh
It's
yes.
kind of,
Yeah,
is
I mean it's pushed into society. Moral relativism is in every strata of society. Just like solipsism. I'm still
yes,
seeing these people. They're living in a fucking dream. You know,
yes, yes.
they think that they're unbalanced so much on the feminine side that they think that they can pray their problems away. It's
Mm.
fucking nonsense. This is what it is. It's lies. It's deception. You're lying to yourself. It's
Yes.
crazy. I'm in the mood to fucking rant, man. This morning I went all on, man. And
Yes.
I'm projecting doing another one later because I have so much to say, and so much it's so important. I talked about this, what we talked I thought it like a few days ago, because these things needs to be understood and known. The imbalance and what the great work is. Why are we using the doctrines of the ancient world and the occult to bring up to help people growing up of their slavery and out of their schisms and division and deception and lies, because essentially shadow work, the truth is a destructive thing. It's destroying the lies, and the
Hmm.
first lies that you need to get rid of is the lies that you're saying to yourself,
Hmm.
that you're telling to people around you when you tell them that truth doesn't exist.
It's unbelievable that people still say the truth doesn't exist.
The world,
And
I seen people who say that the world doesn't exist.
mm,
The
yeah.
wind. There's some people who told that the wind doesn't exist. Are you
Tell them
fucking retarded?
go to the cliff and jump. If not, truth doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
they're
What's happened to
crazy.
you after?
And I did no matter no question why I'm fucking bursting in rage and anger. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking fathom the rage that makes me feel, because I mean, how low can we be before we how much we need to suffer until we wake up, until we fucking
What need to,
realization.
yes. What kind of suffering need to arrive to them start to understand that? What kind of suffering need to experience for that? For what need to wait? I don't understand. And the slavery, as you say, the slavery is starting from the mind, the
Yes,
mental slavery. Because if you not work on your mind, on yourself, you will be a slave or subject to someone else. And this is the work like this. And our society is broken. And
yes,
it's very, I tell you, I'm very very angry also sometimes. I get angry on people
yeah,
because their crazy belief in some people that they consider themselves as a gods, and they support them and they believe in them, and all of us suffering because of them, because
yes,
of their belief, simply like this.
yes,
We live on earth, we born here with natural rights, we're born with these rights. No one need to give us these rights, no one need to tell what one of my rights. You need to know what your rights by yourself. You're born with them. You need
yes,
to respect other rights. You need to understand other boundaries. You need to understand what you can do, what you cannot do. You need to have self judgment.
yes,
And
absolutely. And this judgment, this word, man, it's like people get fucking inflamed when they hear judgment.
yeah, yeah, yes.
You are you serious? You cannot. You're against judgment. This is why we're getting deeper in the shithole.
Like this, they make the people weak. You understand? They make
Yes,
them weak to
absolutely.
not have judgment.
Yes,
And if you have weak society, you have a good slaves that you can do whatever you want with them, and put them everywhere with whatever you want. And this
yeah,
is a problem.
yes. And I mean, we have plenty of example. Don't have to dig deep to get some example. The pandemic.
Yeah.
This fucking fever dream of a dystopian authoritarian
Yes.
government. Oh, people
Imagine
like
yourself.
this.
Yes.
People
After
like
that,
this shit.
after all this, people still they like a brilliant, like strong, holding strong belief for that,
Yes,
like a wall, unbreakable wall that stand in their minds and they not move from there. Even after this tyranny and slavery, we cross after 2020, especially. And again, these people, they like it. As you
yes.
say, they like to be slaves,
Take
unfortunately.
take your pills.
Yeah.
Anesthesiate your emotions and follow the line, loser. You
Yes.
know. I mean, I'm not. I understand so much why people get angry. Why Mark Passio is getting angry. I understand that perfectly.
Justify that 100%.
It's just, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
And this is why we have to work with. This is indignation, anger, and this is the I it comes from love. I'm not doing this because I hate people. It's complete contrary.
Hmm.
I do this because I care about people. If I wouldn't care about this, I would have stayed a Satanist, and I would fucking take this knowledge for myself, and maybe like use it for my own egoic needs, you know. But I'm sharing, we're sharing knowledge that is crucial, that is understandable, that is testable, you can see it everywhere, you know. The principles of the principle of natural law are the tools for betterment of humanity. It's a solution. It's the famous key to unlock the cage for us to go out. But people need to know, and they need to understand. It's not enough you know it by heart. You have to understanding. This is the understanding part that is so important, and what you're doing with
Okay.
it. This is the quality of the information you're putting in, that's gonna decide what the action that you're not judging people with for their for the ignorance, you know. I mean, fuck. When you don't want us to use judgment, but you're giving us all the permission to do it. You're giving us all the occasion to open the door and critic everything that is said in from the mainstream, everything that come from the spiritual and freedom movement, even in the great work. Okay, it's not perfect, you know. Nobody is, but we need to get our fucking head out of our ass.
A good person, he will care about if next generations will suffer from slavery and tyranny. And people like this, they just leave it like that and transfer this for the next generation. And it's very painful. And this need to be very disturbing for people.
Yes,
Okay? There's need to be fire inside them to do something. To we no need to give this to our children. Why to give this to our children, to the next generations? And how you're not supposed to be angry at all if you destroy your next generations, your
yes,
own kids, you know? You give them to the indoctrination schools, and you put them needle crafts, or you wash their brain with wash brain programs
yes.
or whatever, you know?
Or sticking needles in their arms and
Yeah.
injecting garbage in their bloodstream.
Imagine yourself how you're not supposed to be angry, and you put some mask on them or something. Well, before we saw that this is a cult of abused children, abused children. You know,
Yeah, and
this
it's
is a cult
fucking
who abuse children
it's fucking
worldwide.
disturbing. It's fucking
Yeah.
disturbing, brother. And I mean, people see it, you know, but it's weekly news stuff, you know. After 3 days, they're forgetting about it because there's hockey or football or Oprah, you know, or
Yes.
or fucking reality shows, and people that are acting like complete clowns, you know. And they're and what is important to understand is that when you don't do the great work, when you don't do the work, you're not partaking into bringing freedom to it. You need to do the work, and then after that, when you understand them, you need to talk, you need to teach, you need to show them what the truth is.
Another thing I want to add that
Yes,
when you start to do the great work, you also feel in your life everything settle up because you're in the right path. You're in the right path. Everything start to be in balance with you.
yes,
Everything start to be clear for you. You start to understand everything. You start to understand yourself, and you start to appreciate in what position you are, and what others know, still know. They still ignorant and still not understand it. You just say thank you that you're not in that position like these people, because these people, they they need to suffer to understand. If they're not suffering, or they will go to the till the death with these belief systems they have in so hard condition, these people. And in our work, we need to achieve the people who have the potential
Yes.
for the next generations, for change the world for better, for work with nature, with harmony, and to build a strong, good, moral community that we can live together, and and and
And look up to it,
yes,
you know, not just building something and like
this is what
let
people
it
think.
die.
They can build something. They can build something alternative, new alternative, and we can live in slavery around us. We can live in our small cage here, that we grow together food. We grow this. We have our our homes, but all the rest, fuck all of the rest.
Hmm.
I tell you something like that. If even one person who victim, we're not free. No need to have even one person who victim, because nature not bring us to be victims here, and to suffer here just for nothing. If we're suffering, that means we're not in the right direction. We need to change the course of the behaviors,
Yes.
you know, and this just teach us the lessons, you know.
And it's I mean, we could I mean, talk endless hours about the prison, the walls of the prison, but I want to ask you and finish on a
Yeah,
good
sure.
and bring solutions. Do you have tools that people that are new to the great work that and are interested in it and partake in the great work, where to start?
Where to start? It's a good question. Um, where to start is all the time start with yourself. To sit down with yourself. No have one technique, no have two techniques, no have
Hmm.
many techniques to do it, many variants. The important thing is to do it seriously and with discipline. Okay, to do it seriously with discipline with yourself. Have many ways to do it. Have meditations, have magical practices, if people who staring in the mirror in themselves, if people just sit down with themselves quiet and just listen to their inner voice with their emotions and their thoughts, and just deal with these things that you not like in yourself, and be honest, harshly honest with yourself.
Hmm.
This is the most important thing. By the way, I forget to mention that the most important thing is to be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest, you not be honest with others, and you start to lie with yourself, lie to others, and you not achieve nothing from what you need to achieve. And um, also inner communication with yourself, and also creating content. Creating the content also, first content is will not be the best, but after you will improve yourself. Also you will build your inner confidence, your
Hmm.
willpower, and you do everything simultaneously. I do it simultaneously. I work with myself. I have my own schedule. I have my journal. I have my material in my computers that I every day I schedule myself what I do, because also I work in. I need to work also to manage myself with that, and you just put attention in that, and do it with discipline. And
Yes.
it's not about the time, 20 minutes a day or 1 hour a day. It need to be constantly, and do your lifestyle. By the way, not only make for you 1 hour a day for that. Okay, you make for you 1 hour a day, example, for meditate with yourself, to do the shadow work. But after you go out for the meditation, is not mean you can back for yourself again. You need to observe yourself 24/7, your emotions, your thoughts, what's going on with you, how you communicate with others, when I can improve myself with communication with myself, with my thoughts, with my ideas. And everything start to be clearer. And
And
have
I
many
will
many
go on
other
ahead.
techniques also. I use, as I say, journal
Mhm.
is very very powerful, powerful tool that I explained before. The writing, meditations. Also I use divination arts like tarot and runes. I do divinations myself, or I just meditate on the symbology of the tarot, because the symbols is speaking with your unconscious mind, is communicated with you, and you tap into your deeper awareness state, aware state. um, have many other techniques. Again, it's just depend on you what you choose to work with, and just grab it and work with it.
And there's the aspect of knowledge there, and I think it's very important, and where to begin and to complement what you're saying. You have to go back to the doctrines of the occult. There's plenty of document and free books that you can get now for free. There's libraries of occult books that you can get, and I suggest you to begin with the Kybalion. You
Mhm.
get the Kybalion, you buy it or you download it on PDF. It's free. Maybe I can send them to people. I have the French version and I have the English version that I can share. And I suggest you to begin there. You begin with the basic fundamental of the occult, and these are the hermetic principles, the natural law.
By the
And
way, the occult, yes, yes. Sorry that I interrupt you,
no
but
problem, no problem.
the occult have a lot of also techniques for shadow work, because the occult is to work with your unconscious mind, is to work with your also practically, also knowledge, as you say, and also practically.
Yes, it means embodying the
Yes.
principle of natural law. It's self-observation. You 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 have to take the few step backs. I keep repeating that because it's so important. You have to take a few step backs and observe how you respond to certain things, certain stimuli, and then it's an introspection, and you have to keep the balance between this, because there's the sphere of inner knowledge, that it's the knowledge of the self, and then you have the knowledge of the external world, you know. And these things needs to be separated, not separated in the sense that they're not a complement of one and the other, but treat them like independent spot, you know. Start healing the divide inside by acquiring knowledge about the occult. This is where to start when you're going into the great work. It's like an initiation into the occult. So you
Hmm.
get to the basics, and then you understand them, you take them inside, and then you live and you embody as much as you can the principle of natural law. And essentially what is gonna happen is you're gonna reach an equilibrium in few aspect of your life. So when you acquire equilibrium in these stratas and these contexts of your life, then after that you can go on and heal something else. And then it's like a stair, like the Freemasonic stair.
Hmm.
You're going up, you're not going down, you're going up, and you're taking the step one by one, and you understand them. You meditate on them, you can contemplate on them, but you have to understand. The understanding is everything, is like the heart of knowledge.
Yes.
So I mean there we can I want to have you back, and do a
Sure.
longer one. This one was fairly short. I have responsibilities, um, so I have to go out. But I'm gonna keep contacting you, Stephen, and do another one, maybe a
No,
bigger
sure.
one if you agree. We can maybe have another person, or having people to interact with us, because there's a lot
Sure.
of French people now that are listening and they're new to the stuff. So I insist on starting with basic things, and this is what you did. You bring up the basic of the great work, and it's thank you so much for being there and
Thank
sharing
you.
your time with me and with these people, because we need so much
Yes.
teachers and
Yes.
people who will get into the path of the great work. And if I know there's a lot of French people who are listening to this, so if have interest and you're listening to it and you're replaying it for later, you cannot you did it on the live show, but you can still listen to it. And if you have question, I encourage you to contact me or contact Stephen. If you can send me your stuff. I completely forgot to ask
Sure.
you, so we can. I'm gonna share it
Sure.
under the and on YouTube and Odyssey, so can people can contact you if they're interested, because
Okay.
it's important to be eclectic and go see to different sources and look upon them and manage and find a pattern between them, because you're gonna essentially, what we don't want to do is create another echo chamber. We want to go the knowledge going out of the echo chamber, because we can talk about this hours long, during hours when we're between us, because we know rhetorics, we know what we're talking about. But when you don't know and you want to know, it's good to go see a lot of different sources for your knowledge. So I encourage everybody to contact me or Stephen if you want more details on that. And thank you for being there, people. There's a lot of my French friends there. I'm so happy to have a few of them keeping on and look into the secrets and the truth, you know, the truth about things and things like that. So thank you very much, people, for supporting the LIBERcast. Thank you, Stephen, for supporting it, because
Thank you.
the people who are coming and in interview or discussion, you are the pillars of the LIBERcast. You're helping me building this up, for not for money, not for fame, but for care and love and compassion. And you're helping us to grow up. So thank you so much for that. And I want to say that I'm gonna have a another invited. I may be having Corey next week, Corey Androulat,
Mm.
to talk about abolitionism. Once again, I want to get deeper in that, and Corey is uh, um, so thoughtful. So the way he explained things, it's beautiful. So I want to have him back. So if you have knowledge that you want to share, that it's a betterment for humanity, I encourage you to get to me and contact me, and then we can do like this podcast there and have a discussion and sharing wisdom and knowledge between the humans that are interested in it. So thank you very much, people, and we're seeing very soon.